Hello everybody and welcome to another vlog. This is going on my Taisha Jason channel and I've had some good requests. People have actually been asking me a lot about cooking. I know I'm fat, but you know, I'm no chef. I get by on cooking bachelor food, but people really want to see me cook something in my kitchen. So okay. I'm gonna do that sometime in December, I guess. It's now December 1st in Japan. Today's vlog is brought to you by Pepsi White. This is Pepsi and yogurt flavor. And I just saw it like a week ago and I've saved it. I haven't drunk it yet. So here we go. Let's see. It's a little bit like cream soda. But, it's not bad. It's definitely the best flavored Pepsi. Pepsi Blue, Pepsi Cucumber, some of the nasty Pepsis they've had here. And Pringles. So just don't, just because you come and you're going to live in Japan, don't think you can't get some things you might know from home. These are like mild salt. They have some really wacky flavored Pringles here. But these are the closest to regular original Pringles, which are my favorite in the States. Okay, today I want to just talk about some books. I've noticed some other Japan vloggers talking about books they're reading, and I'd like to do that too. But I'm going to start it off with a Japan-related book discussion because I know you guys come here to learn about Japan, but maybe someday in the future I'll do another vlog where I just talk about random books I like. Okay, one big one if you're a Jet or a Jet want to be, is this one. It's called Importing Diversity, and it's Inside Japan's Jet Program, written by David McConnell. I'll try to put links up in the side to, maybe Amazon.com links or something. It's dated in the sense that it was written specifically about the start of Jet in 1988 through about 1992. So it's already, gosh, I think the most current revision that he did before it got published was about 94 or 95, which is already, what, 13 years ago? So it is a little dated, but I found it, after having been a Jet for a while, fascinating. So if you're interested in the program, I highly recommend it. It might be kind of expensive. It's kind of a textbooky type pricing structure on this one. It's not just your regular, run-of-the-mill paperback. University of California Press in Berkeley. Another one that you'll hear a lot about, but I'm going to actually recommend that you do not read it, and this is kind of sound as weird, is Dogs and Demons. This is a very famous book about Japan, written by a man named Alex Kerr, K-E-R-R. Tales from the Dark Side of Japan. Now, with my caveat at the beginning about don't read it, that's a little facetious in the sense that, of course, you should read it. It's a fascinating, fascinating book, but don't read it before you come to Japan. Read it either after you've been here on a visit, at least for a little while, after you've stayed here for a year as a foreign exchange student, or after you've come as a Jet and you've been here at least a year. The reason I say that is because it distills everything that's wrong with Japan into a fairly convincing argument against so many things that make Japan what it is. And it's a depressing book in some ways because especially if you've ever been here or you've lived here like I have, you read it and you go, yeah. It's one of those where you kind of nod your head in silent agreement with a lot of what he has to say. There is one chapter on education, and I hope to do a future vlog all about this book and my thoughts on it. But he obviously covers all kinds of aspects of Japan. It is I think, very well written and very interesting, but like I said, you know, you don't want rose-colored glasses when you're going to come to live here, but this book, you know, is kind of the opposite extreme. It might make you think, God, do I really want to go live there? And you do. But this kind of puts some of those things that you'll find when you get here into perspective. Okay, oh, I should have really looked at my time. Really quick then, in case I'm running out. If you just want something interesting about Japanese culture that's not modern culture, I highly recommend Usagi Yojimbo. It's an ongoing comic book series, and I hope that you guys can see this. Done in black and white mostly, with all the characters are, it's in comic book business we call this a funny animal book, where they're animals playing the humans and they all can talk and everything, and it's like normal society. And Stan Sakai is a Japanese, I believe he's a Japanese American. I believe he was born in Hawaii. No, he was born in Kyoto, Japan, according to his biography in the back, and grew up in Hawaii. Sorry, Stan. He's been doing this for a long time. Many of you might know of a comic book that became a phenomenon called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And Stan Sakai, Usagi Yojimbo appeared in TMNT, and Stan Sakai helped Peter Laird and Peter David get started, because that was also another funny animal book. And he also writes the letters for a comic book called Gru, which is another one of my all-time favorites. But anyway, he puts culture notes in the back, like about the story, like how it relates to things in Japan, like mythology and lore. And Usagi is Japanese for rabbit, and Yojimbo is bodyguard, so rabbit bodyguard. And this is book 19 in the Dark Horse series, and he's been doing this for about 20 years, I think, or maybe more. It's a great, great comic. If you want to read more about modern Japan, you can now get a lot of good books about Japan written by Japanese people. There are a ton of great authors that I could recommend, but this is just kind of a fun pop culture one that was a big hit about 2 years ago. It's called Train Man, or Densha Otoko, and supposedly it was written as internet posts. So the book is all in that style. It's kind of hard to describe. And it's about a man who's kind of very typical of a certain segment of the Japanese male population who struggles to meet women and to have a date, and he befriends this woman on a train, and they start a relationship based upon that, and he's so inexperienced with dating or women that he goes to the internet to get advice from like his Usenet group members, you know, on how to, like, what gift to bring and what to say, etc., etc. So it was really cute. They made a movie out of it, which was really kind of fun, and this is translated into English. So if you go to some big bookstores or online, I'm sure you can find this kind of stuff. A peek inside modern Japan. And lastly, and I hope I have enough time here, I want to recommend one about being an ALT. Now this is called Love as a Foreign Language, and again, it's a comic. It was written by a guy I really like named Jay Torres. He's done a lot of work for Oni Press, and this is also published by Oni, and illustrated by a guy named Eric Kim. And it's not about Japan, it's about actually being an ALT in Korea. And you can get them in these thin volumes, and these were like $7 a pop. And then they brought out 2 like compendium volumes, like these 3 in one book. So I got that for the second set. And the guy is from Canada, the main character, and he meets and falls in love with a Korean woman. But it's a lot of good stuff in there about being a foreigner in an Asian culture, and more specifically, you know, working at a language school. So obviously I found a lot of stuff I could relate to, even though, like I said, it's set in Korea. Okay, let me check my time, and if I have any minutes left, I'll say some stuff. No, I don't. Okay, white Pepsi. There's my old kotatsu. This is my new kotatsu. I'm sitting under it now. Okay, I gotta go. It's really cold. But I'm wearing short sleeves. Oh, I don't know, that's weird. Okay, thanks for watching. More soon. Bye.